Hello, SpongicX here, and I'm about to play Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. So I got this last December, and surprisingly, this game is a lot better than the first one, which was a real disappointment. I mean, this game is still... It's a messy game still, like, it's got a lot of glitches, but it's a lot more fun than the first one, definitely. It's got a lot more replay value, and so... I originally wanted to do a playthrough of it last year. Like, I was doing recordings of, like, me going through the campaign mode and all of that and trying out all the different characters. However, my Elgato capture device is just terrible. It kept, like, getting really bad frame rates, and it kept just messing up the footage I was recording. So I said, screw it, and I switched to a different capture device, and it works a lot better now. And so... I really wanted to go back and try out the new Mr. Krabs DLC that came out a few weeks ago. And so, I've already played through the campaign with every single character. The campaign was really fun. It had like a time paradox kind of thing, where every time you fail, you have to keep going back to retry. And well, that's weird. I downloaded Mr. Krabs. Where the heck is he? I guess you can't play as him in the campaign mode or something? If so, that sucks. Yep, there he is now. So, that sucks. Man, even Super Smash Bros. Ultimate let you play as the DLC characters, at least as soon as you made it to the final world. That's a real shame. But yeah, the campaign mode was pretty fun, though. The way it allowed you to go through, like, kind of like a story mode. It was like a time paradox, and every time you beat it, like, time would get reset, and you'd have to keep going over and over until you finally get far enough to where the game is complete. And they used like, Vlad from Danny Phantom was the main villain, and then Clockwork from the Danny Phantom Ultimate episode, or from the Danny Phantom Ultimate Enemy episode. He was like the time traveler kind of character who would reset time and all that for you when things got bad. And it was a really fun story mode, but the enemies were really glitchy, and some of the missions got really repetitive, but it was still a lot of fun. And so the roster overall is pretty good, but it's like a few steps forward and a lot of steps back. So, you know, we got like a big roster of SpongeBob characters now. They added Squidward, and he's honestly one of my favorite characters to play as in this game. His moveset is really good. And then Plankton, or Mecha Plankton. It's just Plankton, his giant robot from the second SpongeBob movie. And so, of course, now we got Mr. Krabs, who I have yet to try out. And so, yeah, it's a great roster, but then you realize, where the hell is Sandy? I mean, we're playing a fighting game, and out of all the characters, Sandy's the most suitable to be in that. And I'm wondering if, like, she's probably going to be DLC, and if she is, chances are they're probably going to wait until they officially release the Sandy Cheeks movie on Netflix to, you know, I mean, that would be good advertising, right when they announce that the movie's coming out, then have Sandy as a playable character in this game. But still, she should have been available from the start. It sucks that they expect us to pay extra for a character who should have been there to begin with. And then, we got El Tigre. I honestly never liked the show very much, but I gotta admit, he is a great fighter in this. A lot of claw slashing attacks. He's really fast. Got Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. I loved his show, but did not care for his moveset, honestly. I mean, he has a lot of neat callbacks to the show, but I just couldn't get used to him. He's more of a wacky fighter, not a really good fighter, though. Jimmy Neutron, he uses a lot of inventions, so he's mostly like a projection kind of fighter. A projectile fighter, I mean. Not that great, though, but it's still cool to have him in the game. They got rid of Hugh Neutron, unfortunately, but he is in the game as a shopkeep, and he has some funny quotes when you interact with him. Lucy Loud, never cared for the Loud House. I'm glad that Lincoln isn't here, but there's really not much this character. She just has a lot of vampire-inspired attacks. The Angry Beavers, that was a show I loved as a kid. I looked back on it recently on Paramount Plus, and it wasn't as funny as I remembered. I still think it has good voice actors, though. But yeah, it was shocking to see them in this game, and unfortunately, I was hoping they'd play like a tag team duo, but they tried copying off the whole Pyra and Mithra kind of moveset from Smash Brothers, or the traditional Zelda and Sheik from Melee. And yeah, I didn't like how they had a tag team out. I wish it was more of a double team kind of duo, like Ice Climber or something. But they're okay, but not the best fighters. Garfield, I mean, it's cool that he's in this game. I mean, the idea of a game where Garfield can beat up like SpongeBob or a Ninja Turtle, it's a fun novelty, but his moveset really isn't that good. And then you got all the Avatar characters like Aang, Korra, Azula. I'd say Azula's the most overpowered. She's fun to play as. And so we're also getting 2 additional firebenders. So yeah, I know a lot of people are complaining about that choice. Like, it's cool that we're getting both Zuko and Iroh, but at the same time, it's like, God, that means that we have 3 firebenders. Where's Toph? Where's a proper waterbender? I mean, yeah, you got Korra, who originated as a waterbender, but she's an avatar, which means that all of her moves are, you know, mixed elements, and so it doesn't really count as a pure waterbender. So a lot of people would have rather had Katara. And so, yeah, I don't know, I'd say I feel mixed about the Avatar cast. Like, I think they have some cool moves, but then there's a lot of abilities where it's like, that's a move I don't see myself ever using. Like, Aang has, like, a glider ability, which I find really useless. He has, like, an ability where he can ride around on a wind ball. It's, like, a nice reference to the show, but it's a really useless ability in the game. I remember Korra, I didn't think her attacks reached really well, but, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. And so, going on to the Ninja Turtles, they added 2 of the Turtles who weren't playable in the first game, being Raphael and Donatello. That's really cool. Unfortunately, they got rid of Leo and Michelangelo, which is a real shame. It would have been cool to have all 4 Turtles in a fighting game for once. Again, why does Nickelodeon do this to us? They also got rid of Shredder as a playable character because he's now a boss fight, which is a total downgrade. Would have made more sense for him to be a boss fight in the first game than be a playable fighter in the sequel. But they didn't have boss fights in the first game, and so yeah, this one does have boss fights, and they are a cool novelty. It's very similar to like Subspace Emissary or the Smash Brothers bosses from Smash Bros. Ultimate. You got characters like King Jellyfish, Shredder. I can't remember her name, but the villain from El Tigre. You got the Flying Dutchman, and then Vlad being the final boss. So it was cool. It would have been nice to see a little more bosses here and there. Like, would have been funny if you had like Dak Tower, or wasn't that his name? Like the enemy from Rugrats for Reptar and stuff like that. I don't know, but Raphael, so he fights with whatever you call those kind of weapons. Yeah, I'm not really experienced when it comes to knowing the names of these kind of weapons, but yeah, he's mostly like a dual slasher kind of guy. He's not bad. Donatello, he fights with a staff, and again, he's a pretty cool fighter. April O'Neil, she has like the exact same moveset as she did in the first game. So some attacks are cool, but overall she kind of feels more like a novelty fighter. Yeah, I forgot to talk about like the SpongeBob character's moveset. So SpongeBob, surprisingly, he has a rehauled moveset, so it's not a clone of what he had in the first game, and overall it's quite an improvement. I remember having a lot of nitpicks with his moveset in the first game, but he's a more well-balanced fighter in this game. Patrick is honestly one of my least favorite characters to play as, and that's a real shame, because if you were to say, like, who's my favorite character out of this whole roster when it comes to the show they're from, Patrick would be, like, definitely somewhere in the top. Unfortunately, his moveset is very bad. It has very short range, and I just felt like his attacks were too slow, and there were a lot of times where his attacks flung me off a cliff or something, and yeah, I just couldn't get used to him. His moveset was just real disappointing. Now, Danny Phantom, I can't even remember if he was in the first game, but so he has a lot of projectile attacks, a lot of like floating abilities and stuff like that. He's okay, but I felt like he could have been better. Ember, so she was an enemy from Danny Phantom, a Rockstar Ghost, and yeah, she has a lot of cool like fire and musical attacks. So yeah, she wasn't a bad addition. Now, Grandma Gertie from Hey Arnold, I mean, she was a funny character, but who asked for her? I just felt like, yeah, she's a real joke character. There's a lot of better characters they could have had in her place, and yeah, wasn't too excited to see her, and I didn't think her moveset was that great, but there's something about, like, when you get pitted against her, though, she is overpowered. For some reason, I had trouble fighting against her in a lot of CPU matches. Gerald. So this is another character that feels kind of like a joke. Like, why is he in this? I mean, you got like a game full of like all these characters who have like these really cool movesets that you actually applied to the show they're from. And then there's Gerald, just a kid from a show. I mean, I could at least understand why Helga was a playable character in the first game, because she really was a brawler. She loved to, you know, she had a lot of built-in frustration. She let it out by punching and bullying people. So it made sense why she was in it. But Gerald, he was really known as just like the cool kid, basically. And they gave him some neat abilities, though, based on sports. So, like, he has, like, he can throw a basketball, he can skateboard, and one of his attacks is based on the ending of the episode where he reveals he never knew how to ride a bike. And so, it's kind of funny. But so, he makes for a good moveset, but at the same time, it's like, why is he in this? It's just such a random character. Nigel Thornberry, so, yeah, he's basically, the same as he was in the first game, where his moveset is built off of mimicking animals, just like he would in his documentaries and all that, and so, or nature show, whatever. And so he's an okay character, but I don't really see myself fighting as him much. Vader Zim is a real speedy character. He doesn't have like the most powerful attacks, but he's still a pretty fun character to play as. Jenny Wakeman, or XJ9 from My Life as a Teenage Robot. So, I never got the DLC for the first game, so I never got to try out characters like Rocco, Jenny, or Hugh, and so I can't say how much her moveset, if it is, like a copy of the one from the first game or not, but yeah, she was a character where right when the first game came out, I was wondering, why isn't she in this? She's a fighting robot, for crying out loud, and so it's nice to see her in this game, and yeah, she's got a great moveset, very powerful attacks. She probably has, like, the best up recovery with her flight ability. Reptar, so yeah, he's basically like this game's version of a mixture of Bowser and Yoshi, so he's about the same as he was in the first game. Ren and Stimpy, so they were in the first game as well, but I'd say their moveset was slightly changed up a bit. I'm not sure how much though, but I know it's like they had some abilities in this game that weren't in the old one, but they have some returning moves, like their eyes bulging out being used as like an attack. Okay, so, yeah, long rant aside on the characters. Okay, so.
Mr Krabs!
Money, money, money.
Squidward! 3, 2, 1.
So I'm gonna goof around a bit to see if I can get Mr. Krabs' moveset down, because I have not played as him yet.
The Crab King destroyed.
Wonderful weather we're having, huh? Fight!
It's nice to see they got Clancy Brown. Oh, that's cool. His grab attack is like from the Dream episode. Oh, SpongeBob, you're fired! He holds him over his head just like he did when he threw Fred out in the R episode. He's got a swordfish attack. Oh, his down smash is him digging up the grave. That's funny. You can only do it once though, or something, or it's not letting me do it again. Got a fishing rod attack just like Isabel. Okay. Yeah, one thing that always bugged me about this game was how it has too many attacks, where Smash Bros. It only had like basically two kind of attacks, you know, two attack buttons, and then this one it has like 3, and so it makes you forget, like, oh, he has a sledgehammer, just like the episode where they had the Krusty Krab drive-thru and he kept smashing holes through the building. Oh, I think he was about to do, yeah, the body slam, like when he body slammed SpongeBob in the Culture Shock episode over the nickel. What's his up special? Just as a backflip? Not sure what that's a reference to. Let's see, what about aerial moves? So, okay, a shovel move is a gauge ability, I guess. Because it actually pulls out items, I guess.
Yes!
Oh, he curses. Okay. Yeah, like when he stubbed his toe. That's funny. What's his down special supposed to be? He has a vacuum or something? I can't tell what that is. There's a moveset. Yeah, let's see. Yep, money vacuum. But... And so, I think all I have yet to see is his final Smash equivalent, or... Yeah, some of the final smashes in this game are pretty funny. I just feel like the sound design in this game kind of ruins it. There's a lot of funny ideas. Like, I loved how, like, I think Donatello, his final smash is basically where he chases down enemies with the turtle van. He starts gunning them down. It's really funny, but the sound editing ruins it. Like, if it had more explosive sound effects, making it like rapid fire, and you actually hear like the impact, that would have made it funny. But no, the audio just sounds very out of sync and very weak, and so yeah, it ruins a lot of funny ideas. Ah, shoot, I wasted it. But I believe though it was a reference to the episode Clams, because I think I saw it on the internet where he ties up the victim and has the clam come and eat them. It's so. I think the funniest Final Smash I saw in this game was, I know they're not called Final Smashes, but that's basically what they are in mechanics. They're inspired by the ultimate attacks from Smash Brothers. And so, I think the funniest one, though, is Nigel Thornberry, where he has, like, his nature show going on. He sees, the giant elephant, and you see, like, an elephant just falling from the sky, and it lands on the enemies below it. Yeah, that's really funny. I like how this game got rid of some of the really pesky stages from the first game, mainly Space Madness and the Rugrats playground level. Those really sucked. Oh, the Squidward's defeat animation, that's hilarious. But yeah, just for fun, I think I'm going to play through the campaign mode just a little bit. Like, I've already beaten it, though, but I don't want to end this video a little too short, because I mostly wanted to play this to play as Mr. Krabs through the campaign mode. Unfortunately, it won't let you do that, so Nickelodeon or someone from Game Mill, if you are watching this video, please update this game to include the DLC characters. That would be great. So, let's see. I think I'm going to play as Spongebob, because I only played through him during the beginning of the game, and considering how the beginning of the game is really short, I didn't get to do a full run of the whole campaign mode. But yeah, like, unlike Smash Brothers, I don't have, like, the movesets memorized, so give me a minute to kind of refresh. But yeah, SpongeBob's moveset is such an improvement in this game. Like, I remember even mentioning that in my first playthrough of the first game. I mentioned why... I questioned why SpongeBob's rainbow attack was a down move or something, you know? It's like, shouldn't that be an up special? And it's like, they listened, because it's one of his up specials in this game. And so yeah, this game is not perfect, but it is a huge improvement over the disappointment that was the first game. The game also runs better than the first one, but yeah, unfortunately, it still has some really glitchy moments. Like, some of the enemies just spaz out for no reason. It's possible it could have been patched out, though, because since the last time I played this game, the game had a huge update that's supposed to fix a lot of the things. But yeah, I love how the story mode, it's basically not really a Subspace Emissary necessarily, but it has nods to it, though, because you have like enemies from different shows appearing, and it was really fun the first time because you never knew who was gonna show up. But now I've played this game quite enough, so I already know what to expect. But so really cool.
Floor it.
But yeah, the campaign mode is mostly an arcade challenge. It's like, when you first start out, you're probably going to die a lot because some of the enemies just get really overwhelming, and you start off really small, but you keep collecting like slime and all this other collectibles throughout the game, and you can exchange them for items to help you out during the story mode, like giving you extra lives, giving you more defense and stuff like that. And not to mention how during each playthrough you get like little temporary collectibles that work until the end of the game, whether you get a game over or complete the whole mission. And so you can use that in little shops to get more temporary power-ups, and that's really fun. And so it adds a lot of replay value to this game, and I'd love to see the next Smash Brothers have a mode like that. My only complaint, though, is that there are not any, like, traditional side-scrolling levels. There are a few, but they're really barren and bland. Like, there's only, like, 3 of them. Like, a Jimmy Neutron one, a Wild Thornberries one, and, I can't remember what the third one was, but... I also love how, like, when you first play this game, if you approach, like, a shopkeeper, while playing as a character who has chemistry to them, they'll actually have, like, optional dialogue. So, like, if you're playing as Jimmy, for instance, he would have a few words to say with Jimmy, and Jimmy would have a few words with him. It relates to the context of this game, because all these characters were sucked into a different world, and they have no idea what's going on, and... So you get some really funny interactions with, like, the SpongeBob characters reuniting with Mrs. Puff, who's also a shopkeep, and then you also got Invader Zim interacting with Gurr, and yeah, there's a lot of fun interactions in this game. That was one thing I was really impressed with, the interaction in this game. There were some really cool interactions between, like, some of the characters and some of the villains. Like, I remember, Plankton, like, mocking Shredder's armor, like, saying, "Nice armor, did your welder make it for you?" Or no, he says something like, "Nice armor, who's your welder?" Or, you know, it's funny.
Three, two, one, ready!
So yeah, the original Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, I had that on Xbox Series S, and I decided, because I got a PlayStation 5 and I don't have enough games for it, I thought I'd get the PS5 version of this game, and so I'm not sure if that's why this runs better. I doubt it, though. I don't see how the PS5 can make a game like this run much better, because it's not a very high graphic game, and the Series S mostly does good at running, like, smaller games, so... I feel like it really was, like, just the first game was faulty, and they improved upon it within the sequel, but... So, like, I think, like, when this game originally started off, you only had, like, 2 lives or something like that, but, with some of the custom items you can get in this game that you can equip, you can earn up to, like, 6 lives, and so it's real expensive to get that many lives, but I already got, like, all the unlockables in this game when it comes to the stuff you can buy in the shop, so I got nothing more to earn in this game. The only thing I really have to earn are some, like, the little trophies you get for beating the arcade modes and all that under the hardest difficulties, and so I don't really see myself wanting to go through with it. But where did I go? I somehow died, I think. Oh, I guess not. It made it look like I died, though, but... I guess I did die, because actually, yeah, I did die. I'm missing a life. That's weird. Yeah, I am so glad that this game now has voice acting, because I remember when the first game came out, there was no voice acting, and it made the game feel so empty. Here it feels so much more lively. I will admit though, I wish this game had better music though, because music still is kind of bland, just like in the first game, and it gets very repetitive.
Fight!
SpongeBob, you would never harm a jellyfish. Those cluster enemies get real annoying. For those who don't know, they're the robotic bugs. They were from My Life as a Teenage Robot, so. Yep, that's one thing you gotta keep in mind when playing this. Not everyone, like, most people are likely gonna be drawn into this game because of SpongeBob or Ninja Turtles, and there's likely gonna be a lot of shows that they never grew up with or never even heard of, so yeah, it helps. The Foot Clan ninjas almost remind me of Deadpool from a distance. But the girl-eating plant from Jimmy Neutron's a real annoying enemy, too. I don't know why it's trying to eat me. SpongeBob. Well, then again, yeah, I can understand it mistaking SpongeBob for a girl. But yeah, that's funny. The pirates, how they drop pie bombs, just like in the Dying for Pie episode of SpongeBob.
Finish!
So during the campaign mode, like, you fight like these corrupted versions of the characters, and defeating them restores them back to their original selves. And so, yeah, it's cool how you get to unlock their shadowy forms as an alternate costume. So this game does have more alternate costumes, where in the original, there were no alternate costumes until a free update gave characters just one alternate outfit. And, yeah, they were really disappointing. So this one, you get at least 3 additional bonus costumes, along with the 2 additional shadow costumes you get from the campaign mode. You can unlock them by constantly, like, when you first beat the shadow enemies, you unlock them as a playable character, and then when you beat them again in their shadow forms, you unlock 2 alternates of their shadow forms, one with and one without the flame effect. SpongeBob got like an alternate free costume. I can't remember the requirement for it. It might have been an early purchase bonus or something digitally, but you get the Quickster outfit. So SpongeBob is the only character who gets like an extra outfit so far. Let's see, do I go to Mrs. Puff or the Cabbage Salesman? Huh. I'll just go with Mrs. Puff. So the Cabbage Salesman is mostly good for if you want to get healing items. Mrs. Puff, or should I say Mrs. Buff is what they should call her, because she gives you like power buff items, if I recall.
Mrs. Puff, you are here too?
Oh, hello, SpongeBob.
So yeah, that gets kind of annoying, but you probably notice like there's a rocket constantly firing out of SpongeBob, and that's because I have an ability equipped where every few seconds a rocket shoots out, which can help you with like fighting boss fights and all that, or swarms of enemies. And so unfortunately, it gets real annoying how it even happens during cutscenes.
No water? My SpongeBob, this is quite unsettling.
I suppose without boats, it must be hard to know what to do with yourself. You must feel adrift. Or you would if there was any water.
Yes, well, you do make a point. Just for that, I have a reward for you. Take it, SpongeBob, and leave me alone, okay?
I don't remember seeing the Crown of Fire or Ring of Rage attacks equipments before. So that's new. Maybe that's something you get for being the game with each character? I don't know. Invader Zim.
Finish!
Okay, here we go.
Fight!
I at least think, you know, one thing they should have done was, for those who have a save copy of the original game, it should have allowed you to download the characters from the first game, like Sandy, the two Ninja Turtles, or Ablina from Our Real Monsters. That's a real shame. Instead, they're probably gonna add them as DLC or a sequel or something, and they're gonna expect us to pay for them again. I miss it when games would reward you for having the saves from like a previous game or something. I mean, some games still do it, but not very common. The only game I can think of in recent years that did it was Bayonetta 3.
It's a beautiful day to eat cabbage.
I have not seen the live-action Avatar show yet, but I heard it was pretty underwhelming. Like, the one thing everyone's agreeing with, though, is, well, at least it wasn't the Shyamalan movie, but...
Farewell.
Finish!
Kevin!
I'm gonna need a bigger net.
Yeah, that's what I love about this game. Just like the character interaction. Like, the dialogue in the first game was terrible. They just took random quotes from the show that had no context for a fighting game or the characters they're facing against. And so, this one, the fact that they have certain dialogue made for certain characters when they see certain enemies. I mean, not every character will get, like, a context for every boss fight, though. Like, some will get, like, a real generic quote, but... the fact that they actually tried for some characters where they knew, like, oh, we can't miss an opportunity to have a character address, like, the similarities or differences, and that's what was really cool about this game. Yeah, unfortunately, the final smashes do not really work well on the bosses. Dang it.
Just because I beat you doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Finish!
So if I recall, there's like 3 phases you gotta go through with this campaign mode. So yeah, it's really lengthy, but luckily there are checkpoints, so like if you need to quit, it'll reload you back from the last level you beat when you resume next. Yeah, that was an enemy I wasn't expecting in this game. Like one of the thugs from the Spongebob movie. How's this for a bubble blowing double baby? And they also got like one of Plankton's bucket minions from the SpongeBob movie as well. What the heck? How did that miss? I'm not sure, but they might have fixed the enemies in this game, because there was a really weird issue when this game first came out where the characters kept like spazzing out. They just keep standing still and keep like making like these real twitchy movements, and I haven't noticed that really going on yet, so I'm hoping they fixed that, but that was real annoying.
Finish!
It's funny though how even before this game's big update, the fact that even with its messy state, this was still a much better sequel than the first game. the first game was just so underwhelming. So it's great to see a lot of people who played this and said it's actually really fun. And I agree. Most of it is because of the campaign mode. I just think there are way too many levels of, like, the defeating waves of enemies. And they do get real annoying during some parts, depending on what enemies will show up. There are some really pesky enemies in this game. Like, so far, we've got nothing too bad so far, but eventually it gets really bad, especially during the third stage. Like, we're on the second stage right now, basically. Or second world, I should say. But yeah, they really spruce up the gameplay in this one. I remember how in the first game you had to basically, like, in order to go down from a platform, instead of just tilting downward like you did in Smash Brothers, you had to tilt down and press, I think, either the jump or attack button to do that, which was really stupid. And so here, it's like they just let you do it without pressing a button. That's great.
Finish.
Yeah, they really did do a good job at listening to, complaints from the first game. A lot of people complained about the controls and the feel of it, and it really does feel like they tried improving on the sequel. So here's a level I wasn't expecting, the aquarium from Hey Arnold, and we're even in Lockjaw's exhibit. I'm pretty sure Lockjaw was outdoors though, not indoors, but okay. Still a cool level. I mean, who doesn't love going to a giant aquarium? I like how sometimes when you defeat Daga, he shouts, "Norbert!" It's kind of funny. Grr. I can't remember, but wasn't Grr playable in the first game? I can't remember. He was at least playable in the kart racing games, the sequels at least. I do love, like, the bits of strategy in this game where it gives you options of, like, rewards to pick, and sometimes it's hard to choose which one you think you'll need. Sometimes there are ones that you don't even need anyway, so you're forced to pick one just to get it over with.
Okay, here we go.
There are some that even have defects, like there's ones where it gives you a pro and a con. Those are usually ones I try avoiding. I don't like getting a con even if it comes with a pro. I want one where it feels like an enhancement no matter what. So here we're in Jimmy Neutron's lab, and for some reason you're shrunken down in this level. And all these things keep teleporting onto one of Jimmy's little floating desks. Fish tank? Or a hologram of a fish. I don't get this one at all. How are we running in and out of a fish tank? That makes no sense. Personally, I think they had a missed opportunity. I feel like a better stage for Jimmy Neutron should have been Retroland instead of this bland lab stage. It's really boring. I mean, it's not to say that Jimmy's lab couldn't have made for a better stage, but honestly, it would have been better if it was a full-size stage where you're just running around knocking over his inventions or using them as weapons. That would have been a more fun stage. This was obviously a nod to the episode where Jimmy gets morphed into Carl's hamster. That was a funny episode. Or hell, you know what also would have been a cool level? The one where they go inside that video game of Ultra Lord. That would have made for a fun level. So this looks misleading. You think like the girl eating plant, you think that would have been like an obstacle or a hazard in this stage, and no, it isn't. That would have been fun, though. It's like you want to avoid standing on this picture of Cindy, otherwise it'll attack you. That would have been funny, but nope. So again, another reason this stage is so boring, it doesn't do anything with its premise.
Finish.
And that can really sum up most of the stages in this game. They are really boring and uneventful. It's like none of them really have any hazards, per se. The first one actually had some hazards, but they were really unfair. They were like really narrow platforms, if anything, or moving platforms that went too fast. So yeah, it wasn't really fun. These are really weird enemies. These little sentient food beings. Apparently, they're supposed to be Garfield related. They're even part of his like final smash. Like he dreams of them or something, and it somehow attacks everyone in the process. It makes no sense. Some final smashes are really funny and clever, and then there's ones like Garfield where it just makes no freaking sense. So obviously we're in a Ninja Turtles level, the sewers.
Floor it, floor it, floor it, floor it, floor it!
This one's okay, but I kind of wish it had more of a half-pipe shape, considering how like you sometimes see like the Ninja Turtles skateboarding across the sewage pipes and all that. So it would have been cool if it was shaped like a skate park instead. Sometimes the final smashes are just way too unresponsive sometimes. It's like you press the buttons needed to trigger them, and they don't work. And then it instead uses up your slime gauge. So you can press, like, I think the L2 button to trigger what's called the slime gauge, where it's basically a way to buff up one of your attacks. I usually don't even bother with them. I don't see myself ever needing to waste them for purposes like that. I usually save them for using the ultimate attacks instead, and a lot of the times it doesn't trigger, and then it ends up using up one of my gauges instead. So yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Finish.
It says you're supposed to hold L2 and press X at the same time, and a lot of the times it doesn't even register.
Did somebody call?
Yeah, that was a downgrade. Powdered Toast Man was a playable character in the first game, and he's a salesman in this one.
More powder to you. Chimney. Cha-ching. Easy money. Now you're talking. You know where to find me if you need more stuff. Finish.
Really doesn't give me any options here. Arena or arena. Gee, I wonder which one I should pick. Yeah, they could have used more mission variety. Like I said, it would have been nice to actually have side-scrolling levels that, you know, don't suck. Because, yeah, if I get a chance to show a side-scrolling level, I'm probably going to avoid it because that's just how bad and forgettable they are. Like, why couldn't we have gotten a level, like, where you run through, like, Bikini Bottom or Sandy's Tree Dome? Let's see, like, for Danny Phantom, something like Ghost Zone related. Jimmy Neutron, you could have had Retro Land. Yeah, there's just so many different, like, levels they could have chose to make into, like, a side-scroller where it has moments where the enemies spawn out and you have to fight them off, just like in Subspace Emissary. That would have been really cool. And, heck, I'm still wanting Nintendo to do something like that. Like, I want them to make another Subspace Emissary, but have it be where you're actually running through the worlds of the Nintendo games. I mean, Smash Bros. Melee kind of teased us with that when it came to the adventure mode. It's like 1 minute you're like in a recreation of the first level from Super Mario Brothers. That was really cool, and then it's like they drop it for the rest of the game. It's like you only get like a Zelda level and a Metroid escape sequence, an F-Zero challenge. Other than that, it's like we got no side-scrolling levels to mimic any other Mario levels, no Kirby levels. Yeah, that was real disappointing, and so I'd love to see them do that again with a modern Smash Bros. Game. Imagine how cool that would be, like if you got to run around Green Hill Zone as Mario, or Green Greens from Kirby as like Pac-Man or something. There's just a lot of fun you could do with seeing characters in these different worlds. It gives you the impression that you're beating like an old game, but playing as a different character. That'd be really cool, and I hate how Smash Bros. Really hasn't taken advantage of that. Oh, good, because I need a heal.
Finish!
Shredder's a real annoying boss. Like, it's really hard to judge his attacks or predict them.
It is the beginning of the end for you.
Wouldn't you rather go jellyfishing instead?
Hey!
I'm surprised Ultra Lord wasn't a playable character in this game. I mean, you got his voice actor right here. Oh, God, Shredder's so overpowered and fast.
Stop resisting and give in to the shredder.
Yeah, the final smashes, like using them on the bosses is really lazy. Like, usually the enemies are like stuck in like a T-pose form when they get attacked. So it would have been funnier if they properly animated them like running for their lives or something, getting hurt. Instead, they just have them hopping around in a still form, which is a real shame. Takes away the comedy of ramming them with these ultimate attacks.
Soon, I will be unstoppable.
It's canon. SpongeBob can defeat the Shredder.
Have lost to this.
Now that we're done, wouldn't you like a nice Krabby Patty?
He can't, SpongeBob. He's dead.
Finish!
Surprisingly, even Vlad is an easier boss, and sometimes you even get a Clockwork as a boss. Because during the true final battle, Vlad was able to possess Clockwork, and so you're forced to fight Clockwork. And they're surprisingly easy bosses. Like, I honestly think both Shredder and the boss from El Tigre are much harder boss fights. And so the bosses are usually randomly selected each time. So, like, during the first stages, you have two random options that can be your boss. It's either the Flying Dutchman or the King Jellyfish. For the second stage, it's either Shredder or the boss from El Tigre. And then here, it's either Clockwork or Vlad. Mostly Vlad, though, but...
Floor it!
Oh, the tiny little Gurs, or the IRs. Those are real annoying enemies. They got like these real annoying projectile attacks. Ooh, that is an ability you always want to go for if you see it. The one where it can freeze enemies. That can really come in handy, because sometimes you can freeze enemies to the point where they just fall off a cliff and they can't do anything about it. So yeah, always go for the freezing power-ups. They are great. Yeah, we already played this event.
2, 1, go!
Sometimes it feels like the attacks just don't register when you press them.
Finish!
Gotta fight evil Garfield now. He looks like normal in that form.
Fight! Finish!
A cabbage a day keeps the healer away.
Let's see. This power-up's pretty useful, but it only works for 5 matches. It allows you to start a match gigantic.
Very discerning. A fresh stock of
Finish! Fight!
Bring it around town. Oh god, the Urkin ships, those are real pesky enemies. They're not the worst, but they're annoying. Oh god, the full-grown Twonkies. I was surprised to see that. Heck, they should have had the little Twonkies in this. That would have been fun. But instead they have the giant Twonkies.
Finish! Fight!
So yeah, we got the Chum Bucket as a stage, and I like the idea of the giant, like, batter of chum that you can get dipped into. It's kind of funny, but otherwise, kind of a boring stage. I would have rather it be where we could run across the tables, and or even the laboratory itself. I don't know. I just hate it when both Smash Bros. And other fighting games do that, where you got like a fun-looking background with a lot of stuff happening, and it makes you wonder, why are we fighting on a floating platform away from that all? Why can't we be down there fighting in the middle of all of that instead? That would make it more fun. Like in the Animal Crossing level, I'd rather be down on the village, hopping across the buildings and all that, instead of floating miles away from it all. So you got like a rare item that does absolutely nothing.
Finish!
SpongeBob is gonna fight Squidward. Awesome. I'd love to see that actually happen in a show one day where SpongeBob just snaps and him and Squidward get into a big fight.
Fight!
I think that's April. Teenage robot. Like I said, the freeze item is just great. Does all the work for you.
Finish!
Oh, so we get the alternate boss, Clockwork.
So you've come to challenge me. Is that wise? I am a master of time itself, after all. It's harvest time.
Barnacles!
Yeah, I just realized I still need to beat Mr. Krabs' arcade mode. I might just do that right after this.
Time is winding down, I'm afraid.
Damn it. And I'm terrible at this at times.
Time out. Time in.
Imagination!
Tick-tock. Your time's almost up.
How did that fucking miss?
I'm enjoying myself, I'll have to end this. So much to do and so little time.
Bullshit.
It's harvest time. Stop, no more.
I'd like to thank Sandy for teaching me karate.
She didn't teach you karate, you knew it when you first met her. If anything, she taught you how to improve upon it, but...
Let's start over. Rewind.
Okay, so I'm just gonna try out Mr. Krabs' arcade mode and...
Pause.
So yeah, across the year we're gonna get like the other 3 DLC characters from Wave 1, and they include Zuko, Iroh, and either Bebop or Rocksteady. I can't remember which one, but one of the 2 thugs from Ninja Turtles. So yeah, that's insulting there, how Sandy's flat out used on the face of one of the difficulty options, but they didn't make her playable.
Mr. Krabs.
Again, I'm convinced that they meant to have her in this game, but then they thought, nah, let's hold her to the side and wait until the Sandy Cheeks movie releases and release her then for an extra price. That's probably what they were going for. Oh, Mr. Krabs' intro, that is awesome. Nice reference to the, what was it, the Fry Cook Games episode. Well, it's funny, because I remember, like, when I first played Smash Bros., I always imagined, like, oh, if Mr. Krabs was in a fighting game, he'd probably fight a lot like Wario, and yep. They have a lot of Wario's attacks from Smash Bros. In this. Luckily, no farting attack, though, but... Heck, there's even a mod of, like, Smash Brothers Brawl, where it replaced Mr. Krabs with, well, Wario with Mr. Krabs, so yeah. Hi, Bomb. Dang it. That was close.
Finish.
So I'm teamed up with Nigel, and I gotta fight Squidward and LT Gray.
Fight.
My popsicle. Well, that was easy.
Finish.
I think Nigel mostly took care of him. So instead of break the targets, we got pop the balloons.
3, 2, 1, ready.
Wow, so Mr. Krabs doesn't have a good aerial recovery. That sucks. I can never stand the recoveries where it relies on using like a grappling or something. They just feel very unresponsive. That they don't work on every stage. So yeah, they suck. I don't know why I chose Raphael. He can be a tough opponent to fight, but I just wanted to do it for variety though, because I've already fought Garfield. So. Same guy's original voice actor, Rob Paulson, reprised the role. For some reason, they got like a fly swatter as an attack. It's basically just like the original fan from Super Smash Bros., except maybe a little more powerful. But one of the weaker items in the game. Let's see, I just grabbed a White Pantera's boots from El Tigre, and I think that just gives you a faster speed.
Finish.
Giant Mecha Plankton.
The tiny one now.
Why aren't we fighting at the chum bucket? That would have made more sense. Yeah, Plankton kind of fights like the Splatoon fighter in a way, because he has like this mustard attack where it acts just like the ink from Smash Bros. Ultimate, where when enemies are inflicted by it, it inflicts like the damage they receive from regular attacks. You coward.
Finish!
Really didn't give me a choice. It was either Angry Beavers or Angry Beavers. I've already fought Daggett. He was like the first stage.
Fight!
We're fighting in the same arena too. Sucks. Yeah, I guess one thing I just realized is that darn, because the main characters, the DLC characters, don't get any involvement in the campaign mode. That means that we won't get any shadow alternate costumes for them. That sucks.
Finish!
Ah, no. Not Shredder. Hate getting my ass kicked. Ah, dang it. I only have 3 lives, too. This sucks.
Fight!
Even on the easiest difficulties, for some reason, you still get your ass handed to you. Damn it. He just doesn't give you much attack openings. He keeps spamming attack, so it doesn't give you much of a chance to get near him to attack him. That's what I really hate about these boss fights. I mean, they're aware this is a kid's game, right? This isn't supposed to be Dark Souls. Damn it!
Soon, I will be unstoppable. Here. The last of me.
Finish!
The Shredder will be back.
There was something satisfying about seeing Mr. Krabs taking out the Shredder with a sledgehammer. Oh boy.
Fight!
I have no idea what the money does. I know it's like how Mr. Krabs keeps dropping money and you can collect it to fill up a gauge. But I have no idea what it does other than that. Jesus. Well, it's just me and Donnie now. Thought that was gonna miss.
Finish! Three, two, one, go!
Damn it.
Finish!
2 more levels left.
The crab can be destroyed.
Fight! Finish! Fight! More power! Oops. Your power pales in comparison to mine.
Yeah, Vlad is a much easier boss compared to a lot of the other ones. Honestly, Shredder should have been the final boss because God, his attacks are just ridiculous. Vlad is just really slow and easier to dodge, but yeah, I keep foolishly, falling into his stun attacks. Other than that, he's a lot easier.
Perhaps I've underestimated you after all.
Damn it.
More power! Oops.
Dang it. Damn it! Every freaking time! Still have not gotten to see Mr. Krabs' final smash in action.
No, you can't beat me now. I'm too powerful.
Mr. Krabs defeated a ghost with a backflip. Okay, and that was Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2, and so, yeah, it is a flawed game, but dang, it is a huge improvement over the first one. It's very fun, it has a great single-player mode, great character dialogue, and yeah. So if you played the first one and absolutely hated it, at least give the second one a chance. It might surprise you. I know it surprised a lot of others already. There were a lot of stupid decisions with the roster, though, but overall, I did enjoy this. Well, that's all I have to show for now. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and have a great day.